All right, hey, before we get started here, we want to talk about the presenting sponsor, and of course, that's the great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. Memorial Day weekend, Miller Lite. It's a match made in heaven.
Love me some Americana.
Yes, it's a match made in heaven. It really is. Wherever you're going, maybe you're going up to Wisconsin, maybe you're going to Michigan.
Maybe you're going sailing.
Maybe you're going sailing. Maybe you're just staying here in Chicago. Miller Lite is here for you, and that's why we love Miller Lite, because even the nice scenic boating experience or just
only enhances it.
Just sitting on yourself watching the NBA finals or whatever. Miller Lite's there for you.
And this is, some people think summer starts on St. Patrick's Day. I think it actually starts this weekend, and there's nothing better to toast the start of summer than cracking up an old ice cold Miller Lite.
It's funny you should say that, because summer doesn't technically start till June 21st, the summer solstice, but I guess it's okay to pin an arbitrary date or time frame on when you want summer to start compared to when someone else, and then just assume you're right. But it doesn't matter, because you can get over all those differences in opinion with joining your friends and
your favorite Miller Lite, your 96
less filling Miller Lite,
96 calories.
Even if you're thinking green, you're thinking parade, you're thinking river dye, you're thinking Miller Lite, you're thinking boats, you're thinking barbecue, you're thinking Miller Lite. So with a Miller Lite in your hand, summer doesn't taste great. It tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/redline, or let's be honest, you could find it pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. Just make sure you're celebrating responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. All right, bang, bang. Welcome to the Mid Show. This is Eddie. I'm back. We're here. Chief, White Sox, Dave, Danny. How's everybody doing? This show is presented by Miller Lite, as I just stated.
Yep.
It's great to see you guys again.
Is it?
Not Dave, but the rest of you, yes.
Why not me?
Actually, it is nice to see Dave. Dave and I had a nice Saturday.
Should we roll the clip of you saying how much you love Dave?
Yeah, maybe.
We should just put that up.
Sometimes I do need that.
Yeah.
That's
what I was.
That's
you had
like,
a time of your life on Saturday.
Dave is like the son when you just get mad at him. You just need like the picture to look at him, like when you guys went to Disney. That's like that. That clip might be for me and Dave. Relationship.
You need. I feel like, for the warm and fuzzies about White Sox Dave to come out, you need a few Miller Lights.
Yeah.
That seems to be the equation.
Maybe.
That's when you fall in love with Dave.
The only way to tolerate White Sox Dave, Miller Lite.
Yeah, not even. It's just when I go out to New York, it's like, oh, how's your boy doing? It's like, hey, that's him. That's Dave.
They asked like that in that tone.
Yeah, like, how's your guy? Like, how's that guy live? I'm like, dude, he's Dave. He's doing fine. But no, in all seriousness, we had a nice Saturday, right, Dave?
Yeah, I thought it was a nice little Saturday.
Went to the Sox game, hung out with Big John the mailman. It was
Did you
nice.
guys repair your relationship, you and Big John?
Me and Big John are always fine. Dave just tries to drive a wedge because he's a wedge kind of guy.
Oh, bullshit.
Dave
You're
is
the
a wedge
guy.
You're a wedge kind of guy. Every time you see Big John, you're like, hey, Big John, tell her to fuck off.
That's not true.
You do it every time. Every time you see Big John,
when I
you go,
saw,
hey, Big John, tell her to fuck off.
When I saw Big John at the casino, I don't know, was that 3 weeks back or whatever with Ryan, you had nothing going on from what I'm aware.
Where's that fucking asshole, Eddie?
You had nothing going on. You knew Big John was going to be there, and that still didn't entice you to come
How
join
did I
us.
know Big John was going to be there?
I told you that earlier in the week. That is 100% the truth.
No.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Did you know Big John was going to be there?
In this moment, I can't remember if I knew or not.
I
but
absolutely told you Big John was going to be there, and it still wasn't enough. I just told the truth.
Is Eddie obligated to come out to your event in Aurora for the entire day to see Big John?
He wasn't
to
obligated
see Big John
whatsoever. He didn't have to. He didn't have to do that. But it's not like we see Big John all that often.
Yeah.
So I thought that hey,
this is the video.
Knowing that Big John was going to be there, it'd be enough. Speaking of, look how sloshed Eddie is in this video.
No, he was responsible.
How much he loves fucking baseball.
Fucking Jacob passed out at a baseball game.
I saw him earlier.
All right, I'm getting the scaries watching myself drunk.
It's never fun. It's never fun.
This is like my favorite video of the year.
You want me to talk about Dave?
How much you love Dave? Yeah,
I do.
I posted it on my own Instagram. I loved it so much.
What's not to love about me?
Well,
because Dave, like, I sincerely love you and I sincerely hate you. That's just life.
That's how it's supposed to go.
I know. No, I know. That's what I said.
That's how it's supposed to go.
I forgot who I was talking to in New York. Because you're like a. I don't know how to explain it, but you're like a.
He's
You know what I mean?
he's an enigma.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
everyone's just like, dude, tell me about this guy.
Yeah.
Tell me, they all know me too.
Some of them don't. Not to this extent.
Smile.
What are we doing here?
You're up to
That
no
was
good.
when
You're up to no good.
Larry Garcia hit the go-ahead bomb against the Astros in the blackout.
All right.
game
I
after
also have a confession.
What?
You know how you're saying it smells kind of funky in here? I just caught a whiff. I think it is me.
Oh, really? You got
Yeah.
the mildews?
I think
That happens.
I don't know. Maybe I just didn't dry it enough. I thought I did. It was.
Really?
I did laundry yesterday.
Why is it? Why
happens.
does laundry get like that?
I don't know,
I
but
can't smell it, so it's got to be kind of faint.
What's
but
wrong? What do you mean you can't smell? Like you just
I
don't have a
haven't-
nose?
My sense of smell sucks.
Really?
I've
Is that
said
from
this
COVID?
before. No. It's always sucked. I think my nose and my ears are less good because my eyes are so good.
So it's like a trade-off.
It's like a trade-off.
Like a blind
I know
person
that-
has heightened senses.
Yes, exactly.
That makes no
It's-
sense, but it makes sense.
I know it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense.
I agree.
You think
I agree
God
with
is
you.
just leveling it out
Yeah,
for you?
it's just leveling
It's
it
not
out. Like
fair.
I could,
it wouldn't be fair
like
for
I could spot
this
the
man with
fucking
this.
dime under that
Here's some
chair, like
reasoning.
Costanza.
Over time, components in your washer can become clogged with built-up detergent or fabric softener residue, which can become a playground for bacteria that can smell sour.
Yeah, it's
I think it has to do with sometimes the material too. Like
Yeah.
certain materials just have to dry out
but
longer.
Yeah.
it's soapy water, which is what I don't get. So where's the bacteria coming from? Is
I
it
don't know.
supposed to be like dead?
I'm off of. This is not a new thing, but I'm off of any liquid soap.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Why would happen?
I just feel like
Not
it's a
organic?
waste. Yeah, I do use organic.
Oh, sorry.
What are you using? Comet?
Yeah, they come in like these little soap, like paper index cards, and you just throw them in.
I hope we Comets.
What were
fun.
you going to say there, Dave?
Oh. That's a first.
I mean-
Go on, Dave.
It's soap.
Okay.
I'm all, how are you?
I just feel like if
Dave
you're
just looked like
adding
he was
water
just
to it
rating
anyways,
himself
why
there
would
for
you
the
pay
first-
for water in the detergent bottle?
What did I miss over there? What was Dave doing?
I don't know. I didn't see it either.
No,
I'm
he's just,
confused.
I've never seen Dave like restrain himself before. Like he wanted to say
Yeah, why don't you
something.
call him a smelly
I mean, it's-
beast or something?
Because I can't smell it. I'm not going to be disingenuous. I've been trying to get a whiff of it since Ed walked in today, and I cannot smell it.
Do you ever worry that you smell, and since you can't smell,
I
that-
said it might be me.
I thought it was your forces, but you're wearing a different pair of shoes.
Yeah,
today.
I'm wearing running shoes today, which these are like sloppy as shit because they're workout shoes. So I thought that might have been it.
It might
Yeah.
be a contributing. It might be multiple sources here.
Might be. But I would have fessed up if I was the stinky one in the office today. But I sincerely couldn't smell it.
After an hour and a half debate,
Yeah, it's me. You'll never know though, Dave. You'll
I
just
guess we'll never know.
No, here's the thing. Like if I feel convicted in something about you idiots being wrong about, I will never let it die. But if I am wrong about something, I will. Or if I was the stinky one, for instance, I would be like,
I do think sometimes it is difficult to convince you. It takes forever to convince you of something that's obvious, and then you get it, and you're like, okay.
yeah, sometimes.
Yeah,
But
because you do like to argue. Your natural
I
instinct
don't
is-
like to argue. It's that people around me piss me off. It's more me being stubborn than
Oh, yeah.
anything.
Can I tell you that
No,
I
don't
only
enjoy
said
arguing. I like being quiet.
look at
that,
Harry too.
I only said that because I knew it would bother you, and that it would get you riled up. I know you don't like to argue.
Yeah, nobody
but you
will.
get argumentative.
Dave, my trip to New York was good. Thank
Yeah,
you
how
for
was it?
asking.
Ed?
Thank you for
Did you win the
asking.
tournament?
I
No
can't say
spoilers.
what happened.
I have
no spoilers.
not the
I don't want to be
slightest
nailed to the
clue.
Jeff D'Lo cross.
Yeah,
you
that's
don't
a
have
bad
what?
spot to be.
I don't have any idea how one team did.
Really?
Yep.
Well, yeah, because you guys didn't make it. You guys are doo-doo butter.
You're gonna take that?
You like that one?
Yeah,
I would like to. I don't know if these are out there or not, but I would like to know the points scored against.
That's like how many? Like,
No, it's out there. There's every stat
every
possible.
stat.
There's.
I gotta say that those.
He's got
numbers-
ex-Waba for the dozen.
Yeah,
The
he
Jeff
really
D'Lo's
does.
on it and his team.
Yeah. Why? You think that we're a bad defensive team?
Typically, we would score 10 points, and I feel like that before was the magic number.
I
So at
averaged.
least be
Not
in
anymore at all.
I think I averaged 9. So we were getting a
points a game.
No,
look at-
no.
no.
No,
what
you
was
were
it?
like 5 or 6, I think. I was 4.
You didn't, because I know there's only.
And if you average 9, there's no way we averaged 13
I was
points a
only the
game.
second person ever to average 8.
Oh,
for the
subtle
season.
flex.
Yeah. So, well, I'm just saying that's how I
Well,
know
where's
that.
the All Star? Do they have stats on that?
I have no idea. They do,
don't.
but it's who knows
Okay.
where it
Well,
is.
whatever.
No, I honestly though, I sincerely missed you guys out there. That's always like a good.
We do have fun out there.
Yeah, it is. That's always a good week because it's like everyone comes out from wherever different city they're from and they are there. And you guys were a glaring omission. So was Rear Admiral, and that's basically the Captain Khan's Open, and he was nowhere to be found. So that was disappointing as well.
Captain Khan's wasn't out there?
No, I texted him too, and he's like, "Nah, I got a golf outing. I got to go to DC." I was like, "Dude, what the fuck? I want to just be hanging out, hopping in the cabs with your shorts, just drinking fucking beers all over the place." And he was not about it. So
there
and
is,
even if he didn't qualify for the dozen, he'd still show up for the
yes,
dozen
exactly,
week.
yeah.
There's this remake of Boys in the Hood by a band called Dynamite Hack, and they make it the setting at a frat house.
As long as we're on topic here.
And, no, it is on topic, Danny. Shut the fuck up. You speak when spoken to. The setting's at a frat house, and I swear to God, like they're being blatantly fratty with like the sweaters like crossed over under the neck and like the super short shorts.
Stereotypically,
it's the opposite of what the NWA music video was. But anyways, I swear to God, Captain Khan's like tries to go out of his way to be an extra in that music video.
Highly relatable simile.
He thinks that it's like
I blacked out during that.
He's a good dresser or something. He was texting me the other day, giving me like advice. I'm like, Khans, I'm not responding anymore. You're just annoying me. I don't care what you dress like. I don't ever want to be like you.
I would watch a series of Khans just giving David advice on anything.
I'm gonna be in Texas with them.
I thought
July,
about that too. It's pretty imperative that we fly Khans out here for a challenge.
We should have
have to
like an advice off.
Yeah,
an advice off. Yeah, like what would get your juices going against Khans? Anything really?
I think
being in his general vicinity.
Yeah, as soon as he opens his mouth. Yeah.
This is the music video. Yeah.
Dude,
it's an awesome song, by the way. It's an awesome remake.
Yeah, but Dave, it's like
that's Khans. Like Khans should be in that music video.
You could have said like the Catalina wine mixer or something. A lot of people would have got it.
I've seen his music video so many times.
Yeah,
that's the first thing that popped in my head.
How many views does this have, Tom?
He would be like in the wedding party of like wedding crashers.
Yeah,
half of these views.
Like
Almost
Bradley Cooper's
700,000.
like for brother.
It's got 665. It's been on there for 11 years.
600. Oh yeah. Almost 700,000 views.
I just saw a comment from White Sox Dave. This rocks in the comments.
Let's click on his page so we can see the onion eating again.
I could watch that every day. That's also like my Disneyland photo. Just seeing that, even though that guy doesn't exist anymore. But
the what Disneyland photo?
No, I remember.
Like, when you have the more memories of you.
Oh yeah.
It's like when I want to squeeze your neck, I just like think back to like us at Disney.
We should go to Disney.
That would be something.
You're a roller coaster guy, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Why don't we just go to Six Flags then?
Something more magical about Disney. I mean, I'm a Six Flags.
I haven't been
guy.
to Six Flags since
I think 8th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Did you see that? I made a very inside Chicago Six Flags joke at White Sox Dave last week. The people who knew it appreciated. White Sox Dave put a video out of him guest bartending, and it was like,
Oh, I saw. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, it was basically you get less motion sickness riding Shockwave at Six Flags.
That's the one where you bang your head.
Yes.
yeah.
That was
it was
one of
always
my,
shut down though too.
Yeah, that was one of my my mom basically had two rules, like hard and fast, and that was one of them. You can't ride a Shockwave.
No Shockwave.
Yeah.
What for the CTE?
Yes, exactly. She's
scramble
like,
your brain.
I don't want your neck to. I don't want you to have neck problems. You're only like 11.
Yep.
You know.
Just get back on
You're
Raging
like
Bull
9.
again.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That was.
Wow.
I was too big of a pussy to go on the Raging Bull.
Would you be now?
Dude,
I'd go on it now.
Okay.
I would be nervous, but I'd go on it now.
It is scary.
Dave, how did the beer pouring go when you were guest bartending?
It was actually a lot of fun. I was only supposed to guest bartend. So last Friday, I was a guest bartender for the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation at
I thought it
Barney
was Hogs for a
Callahan's.
Cause.
What's that?
I thought it was Hogs for a Cause.
Yeah, it was actually Hogs for a Cause down in Louisiana. But it was a slammed bar, and I was only supposed to be on. It was 7 to 9 maybe. I forget the hours, but I was only supposed to be on for a 2-hour stretch, and I ended up doing it for 3 just because I was having fun with it.
I mean, look at this video. It looks like he shot at Disney
I'm
Quest.
behind the bar bartending at Barney Callahan's at, 10?
It's like in your nostril.
You got tight quarters in there. Other bartenders are walking in.
Blair Witch Dave.
You got to watch the flip. Yeah, here's the flip. Boom, it swings back. I'm on the fucking Gravitron, bro.
I don't know how I missed this.
All right, I'm behind the bar bartending at Barney
Look at
Callahan's
these quick
at,
whips,
what is it,
dude.
the 10,000th block of Southwestern. Come join us. It's
Oh, here we go, here we go.
Memorial Foundation.
The teacups are about to swerve.
Bring your crowd so far. Be here. I'll be sleeping your drinks all night.
The pan back is like when you're about to faint or something and everything gets all dizzy around you.
I was also consuming alcohol during that, so
Makes
I'm going
sense.
to blame it on that.
Yeah, I
Got to.
agree. Yeah.
It was a fun
Why
time
not?
though.
You pouring stiff ones?
I don't know how
Also,
much we raised,
drinking on the
but there was the whole bar was shoulder to shoulder after a little bit. Like after I took that video, people were coming in droves, but it was a lot of fun. It was like the bar. Everybody obviously knew that we weren't real bartenders, so they were like making super specific drinks I'd never even heard of.
Long Island iced tea.
No, I've heard of a Long Island iced tea. Just like one was a lemon drop margarita, I remember, or I don't know, something. It was lemon drop something in a tequila or a margarita glass, and I'm just sitting there like a chemist in a petri dish, just like making all these concoctions, and it was fun.
Yeah.
We raised a ton of money. I
Good.
mean, I would say thousands and thousands.
Good.
So
Good to hear.
Yeah.
Nice job. I should also say at the Sox game. Oh, there we go. There's that on your video.
Let's just make this our commercial break video.
We really
I like
should.
onions.
I got it.
You do. You do.
We gotta
Oh,
incorporate this maybe as like the opening of the show.
Yeah, you should. Honestly, could we? You could spin it too. We know how to. We have those capabilities.
Yeah, we'll talk to graphics.
I'm looking forward to the next time we have technical difficulties so we can just post this in the meantime.
Let's get that. If we got, we got
Make
that.
up a technical difficulty.
Can we get that video to 1 million somehow? Like I would be.
What's it at now?
Let's get the main Barstool main
Who knows?
YouTube.
No. Yeah, no. That's staying on my thing, on my account only. That's the goal. You guys don't have permission to use that video.
We don't need it.
Yeah, you do. You do.
No,
That stays on my YouTube channel.
I think
and
if you made it while working for Barstool, it's Barstool
that's
content.
true.
But
I wasn't working.
I'm
I was
putting it on
in-
Barstool Chicago. I'm putting it on my own YouTube. I'm putting it
When
on
that
Tom's
video was
YouTube.
made, there was not 1 ounce of paperwork signed as an employee.
I
so
think
was
yeah,
not.
you were volunteer at that point.
Oh, so even better.
it's true. But Dave, you would never go through litigation.
Do you even know what litigation is?
Yeah, it's a lawsuit.
It's good enough.
Why do you think I said it?
I would
Checkmate.
send to C&D. I got lawyers right now
You
working
got
on my
no
behalf.
lawyers.
Chief, do I got lawyers? They just emailed me this morning. I'm in the middle of a lawsuit as we speak.
That's true, actually.
Who are you suing?
He's
Major
part
League
of
Baseball.
part of a class action lawsuit.
Oh my God.
I can't wait to get that 8-cent check in the mail. As it's a principal thing, Ed.
Can I
How
say?
did they wrong you again? Quickly though.
They sold my because I have a MLB extra innings package, and they
Shot
sold
clock.
my info apparently.
Oh,
To
okay.
the Chinese or something.
Okay.
So I'm like, you know what? I will take part in this lawsuit.
Yeah.
One more note, a couple notes actually about the White Sox game, and then I should have said off the top, we have Sean William Scott coming on, who we're going to toss to very shortly.
What a guy.
Awesome guy. Love this. I was like smiling.
We-
ear to ear.
It was the happiest I've seen you.
We
in a
just
long
got
time.
an email right before we hit record today from behind the scenes people who helped book him for us, and they're like, hey, Sean wanted to let us know that he thinks he forgot to say thank you after he got off the interview, so he wanted to like forward the note, say thanks, I had a great time. Like, he didn't have to do that, and he did thank us anyways.
You
That's
guys
just,
had, like,
but
a-
he's genuinely like good people. You could just tell in the interview. He's not Steve Stifler, basically. The opposite of that.
We're going to say Tom?
No, I feel like you guys had like a thank you off at the end there.
Yeah.
Kinda did,
Like
yeah.
too many thank yous.
Thank you. Yeah, but it was. No, I mean, he's like an all-time great to me.
He
genuinely
appreciated
is.
being appreciated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And it was sincere too.
Yeah.
Like he genuinely he knows that for people around our age, Chief's a little older, but for like me and Eddie, that his character Steve Stifler was like.
But it's not even that, Dave. There's
was huge.
so many characters.
No, I
Like,
know.
yeah,
It was-
Stifler's the crown jewel.
Right,
Don't
for
get
sure.
me wrong. Like that's the one who. Like,
Dude, where's my car?
I watched
Like, yeah.
so many
Yeah.
fucking role models.
Dude, him
Dude,
as the
I like
petting
We
the
zoo
didn't
guy.
even bring that up.
I
Role
know.
models is super underrated.
Yes.
Super. Paul Rudd's a fucking genius too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you say, Danny?
when he's the petting zoo guy in Old School.
We talked about that.
You were not.
Yeah.
We talked about it when he did the thing where he like jerked the leash from the little.
Well, don't
donkey.
give it away.
I know. Yeah. Well, I get excited. I get excited.
I know. Well, and regardless, you know what? Let's just toss to him now. But regardless, it was one of those that like we get like sent the list from booking all the time. Like, man, I've sent it in before too.
Yeah.
And we got him somehow this time. And like I had just got off the plane. I was hoping to be here with you guys, but I was like, I can't miss Seann William Scott. I love him too much. I think I told him that like in the middle of the interview.
Yeah.
I was like, dude,
You didn't even need to verbalize it. The look on your face was like pure joy.
It was like you talking about Dave, how much you love him.
yeah, I don't like that's
But you don't need the Disneyland picture for him.
Exactly.
Because it's all Disneyland pictures. Yeah.
So yeah, and then I'll come with my couple notes out of the interview. But before we get into Seann William Scott, I do want to talk about Father's Day gifts. Don't overthink it this year. We have some good merch in the store. Yeah, that's a good Cubs fan.
Yep.
Dad, like that's a great dad hat.
Great dad
Dad
hat.
would love that. He'd wear that to golf. He'd, wear that to the game if he goes. So buy that Friday 120 hat that Chief's wearing. We have the dad shoes shirt.
Yep.
That's a good shirt too.
Very good shirt.
Obviously the grass cutting shoes. You guys know the classic dad shoes. And we got a bunch of other golf merch as well. So go hop in and get yourself some.
The hot dog hats are back on. That's what I gave.
Yes.
I gave my dad one, and he like played in a golf thing. And he's like, everyone's like complimenting me on my hat. I'm like, yeah, it's a great hat, Dad.
Yeah, there's also some great. What is it? Is it? What's the golf company? Is it not? It's not.
G4.
No.
TaylorMade.
I'm gonna think of it. I'm going to think of it. I don't want to say the wrong one.
TikTok.
Peter Millar.
Oh yeah.
We have a great Peter Millar pullover and polo.
Yep.
In there too.
Yep.
So go check that out. Go do that, and then we could send it over to Seann William Scott. Get it at store.barstoolsports.com. Sorry, I got distracted. Dave, whoosh it over.
Whoosh.
All right, we can hop into it. All right, we are now joined by Seann William Scott. He's got a new movie coming out tomorrow, May 26th, The Wrath of Becky. Seann, this is a couple horror movies here, thrillers back-to-back with 2018, I should say, in recent years. Are you liking these roles? Are you liking this switch here?
Yeah, I mean, I just like, the chance to do something totally different. Yeah, I've been pretty much doing the same variations of the same character for, 20 plus years. And it's a pretty fun character, but I've always wanted to, try, to play a darker character. And I loved Bloodline, which we did in 2018, but nobody really saw that movie. And with Wrath of Becky, it's a different character, and the character is definitely very dark. But what's exciting is that, it seems like people will actually watch this movie, and the movie's fantastic.
Yeah. So I actually watched it today. So they sent a screener, and I had it. I was at home watching on my computer. And then I was like, wait, this is not what I was expecting. I decided to put it up on the break screen. So I had to make an adjustment. I'm like, is this a little comedy? No, it's not. I have to buckle in here and get ready to go. So it was very good. And I got to say, you might be a little too natural in that villain role. There's a darkness in those eyes.
You were kind of a villain in American Pie, though.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's funny. I mean, even the American Pie character is kind of dark, but in a different way. But it's funny. My mom's coming over today, and she hasn't seen the movie yet. And I'm trying to figure out if it's a mistake to show her, because I remember watching this movie Bloodline where I play a serial killer, and we watched it at home. And I just remember her I looked over her because I was so excited for her to see me do something different, and she looked at me like she was scared. It was like something she was learning something about me that she didn't know. So I don't know if maybe it's not a good idea to show her this movie.
She had to be horrified by Stifler too, right? Like some of those characters were horrifying in a different way.
Oh, I mean, I grew up my mom's has a strong Christian faith. But she's cool. I mean, you can't be cool and be Christian, but there was definitely I definitely had to prepare her a little bit for American Pie. But I mean, how do you really tell your mom, hey, there's this scene where I drink beer and there's jizz in it?
Yeah.
You're just going to have to let her watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
How hard was it to make, did Hollywood try to beat you down into the Steve Stifler, like, this is what you are, this is what you're going to be for the duration of your career? And how hard has it been to make the switch into a different genre of movies?
I feel like it kind of just happened, where the first movie that I did right after American Pie came out was Road Trip.
Mm-hmm.
And, at that time, like, I really wanted to do dramatic movies. I'd never really set out to do comedies. And I was just so lucky that this happened. And I remember when I read the script for Road Trip, it was hilarious. I'm like, it's kind of exactly like Stifler. Could this be a problem? But then I was like, what am I going to do? Go back to working in the plumbing department at Home Depot? I'm like, no, I'm going to do this movie. Try to, get another movie out of it. And then not long after that, I did American Pie 2 and then American Pie 3. And so I was pretty aware of, like, I think it's going to be harder to get opportunities to do the kinds of movies that I'd always wanted to do. And in the beginning, I was a little bit anxious because I was just, passionate about doing kind of more complicated dramas. But then very quickly, I was like, you know what? It's a huge opportunity. It's a huge gift to try to make people laugh. It's like, so I kind of maybe typecast myself. So, I don't really care.
I didn't want to use the T word.
Characters are fun. What's that?
I didn't want to use the T word, so I was dancing around that carefully.
Yeah. I don't care. I wouldn't have done 4 of the American Pie movies if I really cared.
Yeah, I mean, those are such classics, and like start to finish, and just like going through the third and fourth ones, that like the character development from you guys being idiotic high schoolers trying to get laid nonstop to, like, marriage and wholesomeness. And you became the good guy. And what was that, 3? So
yeah. I mean, and also I think too with comedies, and I know this is not totally accurate, but like it seems like sometimes or often it's like you have like more of kind of straight guy, and then you have the wild man kind of fun crazy character, and those are way more fun. I mean, it's not like those are the 2 characters in every comedy, but a lot of the ones that came my way, that's how it was. And I remember trying to play more of like the other version, not the wild man version in Mr. Woodcock, this movie with Billy Bob Thornton, and I was terrible, and it was not nearly as fun. So anyways, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's like one of those things where you think that in the moment, but looking back now, like, I mean, me growing up in the 2000s and the 90s, like I fucking adore you. Like you're 2000, Sean. Like everyone talks about Jim Carrey's 94. He did The Masked, Pet Detective, and I think the third one might have been
Dumb and
Cable
Dumber.
Guy. To me, Dumb and Dumber. Sorry, yeah. To me, the Sean William Scott 2000, Final Destination, Dude, Where's My Car on Road Trip is a fucking back home run. Like
that's amazing. Wow.
It is,
That's awesome. Thank you. Because funny, because I remember I was the kid going to the theaters when The Mask came out, and Ace Ventura and Dumb and Dumber. I was working at the movie theater in my small town in Minnesota when Dumb and Dumber came out. I was the usher. I just like ripped the ticket, and then I would just go sit and watch the movie. And it was right around then that I was like, I want to do this. But anyways, thanks for the compliment. That's amazing.
No, I really do. You think, and going into Road Trip, do you think Road Trip's a little underrated?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. And I'm not considering myself at all because I'm not making that comment because I'm in it. Just think it's really, really funny. I mean, it's Todd Phillips. I think it's his first. He'd done a 1 or 2 documentaries before that, but like. I watched it not long ago, I was like, this is still hilarious. Yeah, I think it's a little bit underrated.
And the cast, I mean, Tom Green, Breckin Meyer, Amy Smart, Horatio Sands, like it was star-studded for like what you guys were trying to do. I really enjoy Road Trip, so I'm happy.
Me too. DJ Qualls too.
DJ Qualls, yes.
He's so funny in that movie.
Sean, do you see Eddie smile right now? How happy he is. He's 12 years old all over again.
Just landed at the airport.
It's the greatest feeling. I'm sorry, I cut you off. What were you saying?
No, he just landed at the airport, and we're like, yeah, we'll knock it out, us 2 from the office. And he was out in our New York office, and he's like, no, I'm going to be on that interview. Like, I'll do it from Zoom too. So
that's awesome. Thank you.
Do you realize how many young men that you taught about sex?
Yeah, me included.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, that's so funny because I always thought with Stifler that like he was the guy who always talked about sex, but he was probably the only virgin of the group.
That guy, yeah.
But I know it's funny. I never probably gave a lot of bad advice through those movies, so I apologize.
Yeah, it only took me like 12, 15 years to recover. But it was in the moment, like Eddie was saying, like I was 13 when American Pie came out. It was like one of those, you remember where you were when you saw it for the first time. I didn't see it in the theaters. I saw it on VHS.
I snuck into the theater.
Yeah, but you remember it was like one of those movies that was like, oh, that's like a benchmark of my
It's our time's
adolescence.
Animal House, or
That's awesome.
So,
That's how old were you? Did you say when the movie came out?
I was 13.
I was 10. It was 98, correct?
99.
99.
Yeah.
So 10,
It
11
was
years
like
old.
perfect ages. So I got to thank you guys for my career. Yeah, if you hadn't gone to those movies, man, we would be talking right now.
I was sneaking into the theater and I was buying tickets to like, whatever Disney movie was out at the time that was G-rated that I could actually get into. So that money did not go to your pockets. It's been weighing on me all these years. So 25 years later, I can finally get that off my chest.
He stole it from me.
I forgive you.
Yeah.
I forgive you.
What scene would you say if you're walking around? What scene of what movie do you get gets mentioned the most? What is it?
I think probably the scene in Old School where Will Ferrell shoots himself in the neck with the tranquilizer gun. I get that a lot.
Really?
Sometimes in the weirdest way, where like I'll just be walking down the street and I'll just hear somebody go, "Wait, pull that out, man." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" It's just such a weird like quote, but I get that a lot.
So I've seen a bunch of the behind the scenes making of Eastbound and Down, and I don't know if you've seen it or not. And Will Ferrell's character in that, it's just like straight improv. And I've always assumed that scene was as well. Was it like scripted, or was it just like watch Will work, like let him do his thing, and you kind of ping pong back and forth with them? And how long did it take to actually finish where you guys could keep a straight face?
I remember the scene being funny, written it really well. I mean, Todd and I think Scott Armstrong like wrote that script, but originally I wasn't supposed to come on with like this weird, long hair and like the weird mustache, and I was kind of basing the character off of my older brother. So I remember walking on set, and I think like Vince Vaughn was there and somebody else, and they weren't quite sure because I didn't really fit in to that movie just when you saw the look of the character. But there was definitely, I remember some improv. The one I'm pretty sure of, which is my favorite, it was when Will says, "You're crazy. I like you, but you're crazy." And like that line, and I remember there was a couple things where one time I think that before Will's character comes on board, I come around like, "She's a beauty, ain't she?" Before that, actually, like yank on the little horses.
Come on, you little fucker.
Right? Yeah, and he's like, and it worked great. I wasn't supposed to be in there, and I remember Todd Phillips was like, "Dude, that was hilarious. Don't do it again." The animal person did not like that. But what was not, I don't think, ever in the script was the fact that he was going to slow it down. So when I watched the movie, that whole the voice slowing down, all that stuff, that was just Todd adding that in, which added so much to it. But yeah, that's the thing with Will. It's so hard to not laugh at everything he does.
Now, who's a better kisser between Will Ferrell and Jason Biggs? Because you've made out with both of them.
And Ashton Kutcher, dude. Come on.
And Ashton Kutcher. I didn't even remember that.
Yeah.
Let's say, this reminds me of an Old School. Man, I feel so bad. I would say they're all equally terrible kissers, but like, I remember such a dummy. I just got you ever get these weird, how old are you guys again? You're like in your 30s?
Yeah.
32.
Okay. When you get in your 40s, it sucks where like everything's great in your 40s, but what ends up happening is you'll get hit with a weird flashback of an embarrassing moment. Happens all the time. just be walking down the street and you're like, oh, I should have done it to that kid in 6th grade, But it just had this moment when with old school, when I'm giving him mouth to mouth, and I instead of acting like I'm giving him mouth to mouth, I literally blew air into his and Will's like, come on, what? You can kill somebody doing that. And I was like, oh shit, I almost killed Will Ferrell. I was so embarrassed. Like that's how shitty of an actor I am. That I'm literally just like, I guess trying to give him mouth to mouth.
You committed to the role. What do you mean you're shitty in acting?
Yeah.
No, that was just
he needed CPR. He was drowning to death.
He did not like that.
Hey, let's take a break from talking to Sean and let's talk about Game Time. Listen, the Game Time app, you guys know the drill by now, created by fans for fans. Game Time's a ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. Chief, you went to one last night. That's why you're so violently hungover.
Hippocampus at the Salt Shed. Awesome. This is my first time at the Salt Shed. Wanted to go. It was a great show. Venue's awesome. Would not have been able to do it without Game Time. They hooked it up last minute. As always, last minute, low prices. So Game Time is the absolute best. Any concert, they have a lot of people. Tyler Childers. I always get those switched up. He's coming June 8th. So it is concert season now, and then it's baseball season.
One of those things too, where you just have to download the Game Time app because it's the summer in Chicago, and you don't know who's here. There's so many concert venues. There's so much stuff going on. Just download the app and just see what's going on, and then you'll be able to be like, oh, all right, I'll buy a ticket to that. So just download Game Time.
That's basically how that happened. I was looking for something to do.
Really?
And I thought, if we're being totally honest, I misread it, and the concert. I thought it was on the 17th and not the 24th. So I had those sitting on the tickets for a week. Yeah. But because I messed up, but it was just like I was scrolling through and I'm like, oh, I'll see them at the Salt Shed. That'll be awesome. Yeah. So I just snagged them and it was great.
Yeah, the purchase process is easy. It takes 2 taps and 10 seconds. You buy your tickets, they're delivered to your phone. No printer needed. And the app makes it easy to share tickets with your friends so you can get in seamlessly. Skip the hassle, enjoy the moment. Download the Game Time app or go to the website. Enter your email, redeem code MID for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. All right, let's get back to Seann William Scott. If you have, if you think back, if you have those moments of embarrassment and whatnot, but what do you look back on when you're just thinking and you're like, wow, that was a blast? Like what movie you really look back on? You're like, that was just a ball.
Man, so many, to be honest. I mean, I was just talking to my wife about I can't, maybe because you start doing press and I've been asked somebody brought up some of the people I got a chance to work with, like Will. And, I became an actor because I love movies. It wasn't like I have to perform. It was like, no, I love movies and I want to make people feel the same way when I watch something great. So I was thinking about all these amazing actors that I've had a chance to work with, and it's crazy. But there's been so many movies. I mean, the American Pie films, for sure. Every single one. I feel like the American Pie 2 was really fun because we were shooting it in Malibu and they're trying to double Paradise Cove in Malibu as Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
They built this summer house right on the beach. And it's just, there's lots of party scenes. We're young and that was pretty incredible. Road Trip was really fun because that was maybe one of the best because American Pie had just come out. And we were shooting Road Trip all around Georgia at all the different colleges, which was amazing.
Why was that so amazing?
Yeah, you can.
No, I wish I could go back. I would have done some things differently. I would have maybe enjoyed it more.
Okay.
But it was just also because the movie was fun. All of a sudden we're going around and people were still watching American Pie. And I remember thinking I can't believe my life. I won the lottery. I got to do a movie. I'm getting a chance to do another movie. People actually liked the first movie that I did. But yeah, I think that was probably one of my favorites.
How old were you at that time?
I feel like it was 22.
So 99, perfect. You're 22. Yeah. You're coming off American Pie. You're shooting a Road Trip, and you're hanging around at colleges in Georgia. I mean,
not bad.
Do you guys give a travel machine, time travel machine? That would be a lot of fun.
Was it hard though? Because like with girls or relationships or whatever, was it hard to get past being like, no, dude, I'm Seann. I'm not fucking Steve Stifler.
Yeah, I think I was also so focused on my career. I was like, I gotta keep this, going, So I had like an athlete's mentality. I grew up playing sports, and so I was pretty focused. But it was, I think, especially in that movie, I think because we were shooting in so many college campuses that when people would meet me, they really thought they expected Stifler. And so they were pretty disappointed. You could just see like their wires were like, kind of crossing, and just like didn't understand that I wasn't this kind of maniac. So it took a while for that. I think people still think that I'm like legitimately Steve Stifler.
Yeah, like why aren't you drunk right now?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Aren't you telling us to go fuck ourselves?
Yeah.
Fuck you, shipwreck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys got like a group chat with everybody? I was watching some on the actors from The Sandlot. It was their 25th, I want to say, anniversary. This is a couple years ago now, but like they all stay in touch and they yuck it up about, I mean, they're kids, obviously, like 10, 12 years old or whatever. But do you guys, throw it back, like hit the dive bars and like, yeah, remember that scene, guys? Yeah.
We should. I mean, we know we haven't. I think everybody just got busy and started having families. But I did see Jason Biggs. We did a commercial that's coming out soon for DoorDash. So it was so much fun. I mean, we weren't playing our characters, but there's definitely like like a nod to the franchise.
Yeah.
But just I hadn't seen him in a long time. And it was so much fun. It was like, of course, it brought back like so many amazing memories of this franchise and these opportunities. And he hasn't changed at all. I think we were both just like older versions of ourselves, but obviously, but we were talking about like, we got to see if we can maybe try to find a way to do another movie, just because it'd be so fun to get everybody together again. Yeah. But that was the first time I'd seen really anybody from the cast in a while.
If you were a gambling man and you had to make a bet, which sequel gets made? Another American Pie or another Dude, Where's My Car?
I would say American Pie.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
all right, breaking news.
What's that? Breaking news?
Yeah, you guys all got it.
Don't call me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I don't know anything.
But has there been anything on that front, or?
Well, Jason and I were, by like a year ago, we were just throwing around some ideas, and because we both were like, these characters are really fun, and it was like just trying to figure out, is there a story that would be hilarious and would be relevant, because obviously so much has changed since those movies. Comedy has changed so much, and so we start talking about it a little bit, but I really have no idea. I don't know. Yeah, but I hope so. It'd be fun.
Do you think that that American Pie 1, we'll just leave it simple and at that movie, do you think that could have been made in 2023, considering the content matter?
Are you kidding? Do you think so?
I mean, I want to say it could, because it's a movie and movies aren't real life, but
yeah, it would be different, right?
It would have to be, probably.
I feel like high schoolers now they're just so, I would imagine they look back on that movie and they're like, this was like pushing the envelope. Come on. The weird stuff that we do now, it's like, you know what I mean? It probably feels like a kid's show to them.
They drink jizz for sport now.
Yeah, probably.
What's that?
They drink jizz for sport now.
It's an awful thought. Terrible competition.
What did they make that out of, by the way? What was that? Just like goo?
It was what they told me it was a egg white or something, egg yolk, which was still obviously pretty nasty.
Yeah, I've slonked a few eggs. It's unpleasant where you just have the raw egg. Jay Cutler used to do it, so I went on a kick where I was just eating raw eggs on camera. So it's gross. I feel like it's probably worse in a beer.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty.
Yeah.
I bet, yeah. Do you get back to the Midwest much, or what's your situation on that?
Not as much as I'd like to, but I just kind of reconnected with all my childhood friends that I just haven't seen in a while. So I think we're hoping to do like a little reunion, and I used to see them a lot more. I lived in New York for 10 years, and they would come visit me, and then just life happens, and just haven't seen them. But they're pretty hilarious. So I'm going to try to make my way back there more.
Yeah, you went to Wisconsin, right?
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I have an older brother that went to Madison.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's Dave's town.
That is my town.
Oh, really?
I used to frequent it. I'm not from there, no. I'm from the Chicago area, but I've had a good time in Madison a time or two.
He had a few tentpole events like Mifflin and Halloween.
Yeah.
That he would go up there for.
Fantastic.
No.
Yeah, I've never been there, but
it's a wild scene if you're a college kid. Before we let you go, Seann, what's on the horizon for you after everything you got going on right now with Becky? Are you going to try to just keep pushing this darker side of you? Going to get back into comedy, or are you just kind of taking scripts, seeing what you like? What's going on? What's the 5-year plan?
It's like, what was the last thing? I'm sorry.
The 5-year plan.
5-year plan. Shit, that's too far for me to. But it's funny. You know what? For quite a while, like the scripts that would get sent to me were like not great. That's why I don't really do that much, because I'm like, I take too much pride in what I do. I'm not gonna just put a bunch of garbage out there. And then, but recently, in like Wrath of Becky, the directors in for this movie, they were like they're in their, I think, early 30s, but grew up watching my movies, and they were like, I want to see this guy do something different. And that's been happening a lot. So all of a sudden, in like the next movie I'm going to do is a R-rated romantic comedy. So it'll be fun to go back and do kind of a crazy, funny movie. But then the next 3 movies after that are all completely different characters in like incredible scripts. And, giving me the opportunity to do things I haven't had a chance to do as an actor. And they're all being directed for the most part by directors in their mid-30s that are like, I believe in this guy. I really think he could do so much more than what we've seen. So I finally have some really exciting projects that I'm proud of. I mean, I think that they have a lot of potential. So
what was like the thing in Wrath of Becky that was like, oh, I'm in? Was there like a moment or a theme or something that got you really excited to jump on?
Well, you know what? It was the script I loved, but the character wasn't, I couldn't figure out what I was going to do with it. After I read it, I was like, I had some ideas, and the Suzanne and Matt, the directors, they got on the phone with me, and I shared my ideas with them and kind of like what this character's backstory would be. And I really wanted to actually just make him as real of a person as possible and try to make him much darker. And they were totally cool with that. And that's when it was like, okay, let's go for it, And so again, it's not like I've had a chance to do these darker movies, to finally have to be able to do something different with filmmakers that believe in me. I mean, it kind of sets you up to at least give you a chance to do a good job.
Yeah, well, you nailed that dark role. You nailed the psychopath role very well. So it was I don't know, it was a little like stunning to see you in that type of a character. Like I kept waiting for there to be like a flip, and it just never came. But I was locked in the entire time. I really enjoyed it.
Oh man, I appreciate it. Thank you. It's a huge compliment.
The 30-year-olds are buying all the Seann William Scott's.
Yeah,
stuff. So that's
that's awesome.
That's the key. So it comes out tomorrow, May 26th, Friday, and go check it out in theaters. Seann, thank you. This was awesome, man.
Hey, same for me. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate everything you said. This was a lot of fun.
For sure.
I'll see you guys again soon.
That would be great.
Sure. Yeah, Chicago, come on by.
Yep, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Thanks for the support, guys. It means a lot.
Of course.
It means a lot you came on, Seann. We appreciate you too.
Appreciate it as well. Thanks, guys. Hope to see you again soon.
Later.
For sure. Thanks.
All right, take care. Thank you again.
All right, so there it was. That was Seann William Scott. Thank you again for him to coming on.
Check out Becky.
Yeah, go check out
She's the only one who's seen it.
The Wrath of
Becky. Sorry.
Which heading into it, because Becky is the first one, and it looks like it's going to be at least a trilogy. I did not see the first one. I didn't know that it was a thing. Didn't need to. Like, this story lived independently on its own. They kind of, I don't know, they told her backstory a little bit in the beginning. Very good movie. if I didn't like it, I wouldn't talk about it. But I actually sat there the entire time and enjoyed
I
the movie.
asked Chief off screen because we've done a lot of these, and not every movie's a home run. And he's like, one, it's not my style of movie per se, but I enjoyed it. And he's like, Eddie and you and Eddie would fucking love that movie because it's like a thriller slasher. It's super fun. So I'm gonna go see it this weekend. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I got to
it's
get
gonna be
that
awesome.
Sean William Scott fix in my life, and he's venturing out into more dramatic roles instead of the typecast Steve Stifler. So
Yeah, this is not that.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, so I did want to say too about our experience at the White Sox game. Two things. Tom enjoys going to White Sox games more than Cubs games.
Really?
I found that
Did
interesting.
is he still sitting over there?
Yeah, he's right there.
Why is
I
that?
think it's more his people.
No, I think he just likes to experience. And I'll tell you what, that's the first.
I love the White Sox experience.
That's the first time I've ever done the Cork and White Sox
Yeah, that was
Really?
shocked.
back and forth. Yeah,
I feel like Tom and I have done that at least 5 or 8 times a piece
Yeah.
together.
Yeah,
I
no,
did it
first time.
almost 3 times before COVID was even over, like within my first year here.
yeah. I went as a kid before, but I've
When
never
it was
gone.
Jimbo's.
Cork and Carry?
Yeah,
It was Jimbo's
Yeah, it's just
until
like-
2010 or so.
sit on the patio, maybe
Yeah.
like a nacho or
What,
something.
what do you like better about it, Tom?
I think it is. I don't know. It does feel like closer to like my people. Like it's very closer. It feels like you're in Queens or Brooklyn, to be honest. And I don't know. I mean, it's not like a clear lead. It's like I think they're both incredible baseball experiences.
Yeah.
They're so
It's just-
different. That's
they're
the
just
good
so
thing about
different.
Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things where it's because you do it less. But like Wrigley, it's like you could do the whole Wrigley experience and like not even go to the game. Like the White Sox experience of like tailgating is awesome. But then
Yeah,
like,
that is great.
being in the stadium, there's something about how like they're so bad and there's so little amount of people that there's just kind of like no rules. You just walk
Everybody
around.
knows everybody at that stadium.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do like
it's
that
just one
too.
big party. Like
Yeah.
everyone knows each other, and the food's incredible.
Food's awesome.
And like I don't say this is a dig at all, but there is a sense of like, hey, we know we're kind of the redheaded stepchild. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna do whatever
They
the
take
fuck we
pride
want.
in that.
And
Yeah.
everyone there is
You
fans.
know that.
Yeah.
At a Cubs game, it's just everyone there going to Wrigley.
Yeah,
But the White Sox, it's
Yeah.
like everyone
there's like
there is
tourists and corporate people
Yeah.
at Wrigley a lot of times.
I
We're
mean,
gonna let them
it's
do what they want.
still
Yeah.
incredible. Like Wrigley, like bleachers in the summer.
Yeah.
day,
No,
like,
it's
that's
great. I
amazing.
love Wrigley too. But yeah, I think you're onto something for sure.
And then like the crowds afterwards for Wrigley, like sometimes like, oh, we got to leave in the 7th inning to like beat the lines for the bars, whatever.
True.
Like the fact you could just the best part of Cork and Carry is like we know the bartender, like she was like, yeah, take an extra round for the walk over to the park. It's like that's awesome. Like you can't do that at a lot of places. Like you just take an extra beer from the bar, and like you do that in New York, you get arrested in a second.
You should get arrested. There was
Yeah, they don't
there was
care
another
for it.
age where you probably really couldn't do that, and there were probably cops all through that park. But now it's
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nah.
I feel like it's usually
I
the
would
opposite.
I've
I would
always had a
assume.
roadie for that
Sure.
walk through the park.
Maybe I could be
I
wrong,
think
but I
it's
just feel like
don't be an asshole and be, if you're not causing a scene, then it's like,
Yeah.
but
I
we
just
got
always-
bigger fish to fry.
I don't know. I just have this conception that
That's
years
my
ago
favorite,
everything was much tighter.
This is why, and we'll talk about it today since it's a Thursday show, but this is what pisses me off the absolute most about the White Sox being bad is that whole
you say?
package.
We'll talk about it when.
Is that my phone?
That's Danny.
Sorry.
That whole package of getting to the stadium, going and pre-gaming at Cork, going to the tailgate right after that if you want, and then going to the stadium. Everybody's pulling from the same rope, and everybody going back to the tailgate lot, back to Cork. It's my favorite thing on earth. The only thing that's missing is a good fucking baseball team with that, and it would be electric.
Yeah.
It'd be like I would be at that stadium so much if the product on the field were better. And a lot more people would too. And it's sad because everything like that Tom just listed, it could be that on steroids, but it's not.
Imagine how much money Jerry would make if the team was good.
It'd be like I don't care if the team's good. That's fine. That's like Jerry can make gazillions of dollars.
It's not even it though, man. We went Saturday. The park was pretty full.
Was it full?
Yeah,
it was
it
they had
still
a
gets
good-
full for
Summer.
Well,
for
because it's
summer
like
and-
people want to get their games in, regardless of
Yeah.
how bad they are. Like we'll see how
That
that
is
turns
true.
in September and August. But
once football, yeah,
exactly.
dog
Yeah.
days, yeah.
probably going to change a lot. But people still want to get their games in. You're going to have a good June and July, and also. It seems like the team's kind of turning things around. I don't want to speak too
No.
soon, and I want you to speak on it. But
Yeah. That guy Berger's a beast.
Burger's fun to watch. Are you asking me if they're back?
well, one more thing. I just want to compliment myself on something real quick.
The Golden Retrievers.
No, I don't pride myself in being an athlete. I'm a shitty athlete, but I had probably the most athletic move of the day.
What was it?
I stepped on a stick, ankle turn. I'm like fucking
You're going down.
horizontal, and I fucking just I kept it up. Like it was like the drunk. It was like a drunk. You know, where the guy like you think he's going down. You could ask Tom and Hannah. They're behind me. It was
Did you get this on video?
No, it was.
What is wrong with you, young lady?
It was unbelievable. It was like it's like you see like like a spinning top when like
it did
you
a
see it
pirouette.
wobbling, and like it does that final wobble. You're like, oh, it's gonna go down.
And then it
that
catches
was
itself.
Eddie, and then somehow he popped back up.
yeah.
I don't know how he did that.
I was like Captain Hook's gator, and it was coming down. And like I just like came back to life.
I haven't watched Hook in a while.
So I just you know.
It was similar. It was more impressive, but similar to I have it on camera at the rooftop, and we were in Detroit or no, Aurora, one of those casinos, and you almost died on that on ice.
yeah.
Do you remember that?
Dude,
Like the
yeah.
slip and slide.
That was scary. But yeah, sorry, not to make it about myself, but that was.
Well, now that you
What you say?
How
jogged my memory.
how big was this stick? Like, how do you?
I was wearing old Ultra Boosts, and those like really don't have ankle support. And I got bad ankles, broken in 7th grade against Queen of All Saints. Never been the same. And
Shout out T-Mac.
Yeah, shout out to the T-Mac, the Metallic Blues. So I've always just, they just kind of turn on me. And
Okay.
this was like, there was a legitimate stick. And also, it was like perfect. I walked into White Sox Dave, I grabbed him. There was a minute there where it looked like I could have took him down with me. But White Sox Dave, this man's got a nice base. And
He's sturdy.
He helped me. He helped me propel myself up.
Sturdy.
Yes, he's
I
sturdy.
don't even remember this.
Did you watch him fall, Dave?
No, he was in front of me. I did the
The little shuffle.
yes, like the shuffle where you're about to go down, and I grabbed. And,
So I'm
Dave,
the athlete.
So Dave saved your life. You owe Dave something.
Well, I mean, if it wasn't if there was a railing there, it would have been just as good, So if Dave is inanimate object of the game,
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Good job, Dave.
He's trying to deflect right now.
Why? What?
Hey, Dave, thank
pets-
God you were there.
Yeah, thank me for first of all. Second of all, why
That's
do you pet dogs like they're bongo drums?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Now to the serious
That was
questions.
tough.
I have something on dogs that I'm not going to tell on this show. I will tell next week because we got to get into the red line segment. But I have.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah, well, it's a good teaser. It's a good teaser.
Yeah.
But what do you mean? Those dogs came right up to me. Peace, love, dogs, and I was all about them, dude.
That little bongo drum move.
He was going to his owner. I couldn't get in.
Yeah, but you gave it instead of I don't know, you just
What's wrong with a bongo?
you bongoed his butt.
I don't know why it always comes in choppy like this, but
Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right.
Nothing wrong with a little bongo.
I just never seen anybody pet a dog that way. It's like you'd never done it before. That's what it looked like.
No,
You never pet a dog before?
No, that's how I pet. It's
No wonder they don't like you.
Byung Hyun Kim threw his ball from the sidearm. That's just how I pet. Right, Dave? Some guys are side armors.
That's the most random analogy I've ever heard.
I liked it.
I liked it, but how did that come to his mind first?
I
You
don't
think
know.
that's more,
That's worse
more
than
random
me
than that
talking about the
music
music video.
video?
Yeah, some
The Dynamite music video.
Dynamite hat. It was a fun day though. It was a very fun day.
It was good. All right,
And the
now
White Sox won.
Dave, what are you? What's the? if
Where am
you
I
were-
at on the red line?
Yeah, if you were at a 3% 2 weeks ago, where are you at now? Got to be in the 30s. I feel
30s.
What's the question first?
this team could still win the fucking division.
I think they're going to.
They could do it.
But
they could do it.
Like I said, okay, here, Joe Ostrowski had this good tweet a couple days ago, or yesterday actually. I think they won 4 in a row. It was against, I don't know, Cleveland. I forget. 10 days ago, I put a bet in at the White Sox to win the division after they dug themselves out of the hole when they came back from the Rays in the 9th inning. And they won 3 or 4 in a row, and I got them at plus 1,500. I threw $100 on it. Since then, and this is right after that, they lost 3 or 4 to the Royals, and they went to 20-1 on 5/14. On 5/19, they were 16-1. On 5/20, they were 14-1. 5/21, 12-1. 5/22, 10-1. 5/23, 11-1. 5/24 yesterday, they are now 9-1, under 1,000. So I got them at a value right now.
Yeah.
That said, I wrote a blog on this last week, and it's like the most clicked on blog I think I've ever posted on Twitter. But I said this year's AL Central is the worst division in baseball history. Obviously, there is clickbait embellishment and in that title, but I really think division, over my lifetime, it's the worst division I have ever watched. Like, I'm watching the Twins. The Royals are they're god awful. They're horrible. The Twins, who are leading the division, they're over 500, and they actually do have a positive run differential right now. That team sucks. That team completely sucks. They're not good. If they played anybody in any other division, they would be fighting for fourth place. They'd be last in the AL East. St. Cleveland, they are so bad. Now, Cleveland does have good infrastructure. They're one of those fine guy teams that I talk about where they just find guys, and all of a sudden those guys are kind of all-stars, especially on the pitching side.
Yep.
So even though they're horrible this year, I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, a 95-win team next year, because they do have good, at least base infrastructure in that. Yeah, right. They have the bones. They just don't spend any money or keep anybody, and they end up having to trade guys. But specifically this year, this is the worst division I've ever seen. And the Sox are 5.5 back as we record this at about 11 a.m. on Thursday. And I do think the White Sox will probably win just because they have them. And this is obviously bars injuries, which have not been good to the White Sox recently over the last 3-4 years, whatever. But they should probably win the division. That said, like, everything that I've bitched about over the years, they were shoved right to the forefront during that 10-game losing streak. Everything from just they don't develop guys well. They don't draft well. They don't spend money on big free agents. The free agents they do spend money on, like the Yasmani Grandales, he's been fine. He's been good. Obviously, Keuchel cut. Guys like going back to John Danks cut. Like, they don't do a lot right, but the talent is there to win this completely dogshit division and then more than likely go and get blown out in the first round. Yeah. I do think I will cash that ticket, but I'm not going to go unless something drastically changes at the deadline where they swing a trade for like some superstar that's on a shit team that's deciding to sell, that has a high AAV or something. Nothing changes if they win this division. Nothing changes.
You're kind of playing with house. You're kind of playing with house money, though. You're
not playing with house money.
But you had already mentally written this fucking core off. Trade everyone. It's fucking dead.
I mean,
whoever. If they whatever. If they don't win the division, whatever. They're fucking bums, like you said. Mm-hmm. If they do, then it's like, all right, like, let's see what can happen.
Is there anything they could do to get you emotionally invested? Because it feels like you
get back to 500 for sure. Obviously,
that's all it's going to take.
Yeah, and they're 9 under right now, and I mean June's a tough schedule, so we'll see. But they're only 5.5 out, and like I said, the Twins and the Guardians are they're just bad baseball
7
teams.
coming up against the Tigers in the next 10 or so.
And the Tigers have played over their heads. They got the worst offense in baseball, and they're going to be sellers too. They're going to be trading Erod and everything come deadline time. But
there it is.
I don't trust this nucleus of players. They need to add to it, and they're not going to do that. So even if they win the division, they would have to go to the ALCS, and even if they don't win in the ALCS, just put up a fucking awesome fight against a good team, whoever that team is, probably Tampa or a team out of the East. That's the only thing where I can have a positive outlook for the future. Because you're going to go into this winter, they're going to have a lot of starting pitching holes to fill. Catcher again, Yaz is done. Second base and right field still black holes. The roster construction's still weird. You don't know where to play Berger, who's been their second best hitter after Robert. You don't know who a lot of these guys are yet, and you're handing guys positions that never proved it, like Lennon Sosa and Oscar Cola. It's nothing changed other than they're going to be the product, hopefully, of a bad division.
It really changed, obviously. What you just said, it's a bad division. You're beating up on teams within this division. When you played fucking the big dogs, it did not go well.
It did not go well.
It did not go well. But, there
was a normalization. The pitching staff it's not the worst pitching staff, especially the bullpen. The bullpen, I think, is especially now that Hendricks is back within the next few days. Crochet is back. the bullpen's actually awesome. And it was horrifically bad the first 2-3 weeks of the season. Joe Kelly's been unhittable. Graveman's been good. You got Crochet back now. If Lopez, who had been closing and struggling at it, is your 6th inning guy, we saw what he was last year. That's a perfect, and he can be a swing guy too, who can start some games. Same with Lambert. Like the bullpen's a strength. The lineup, insanely inconsistent. Some fucking dude named Justin Gaddis, I'd never even heard of him, shut the Sox out on Monday, was it? Tuesday? Just a stupid fucking loss against a dog shit pitcher that shouldn't have happened. The offense, the starting pitching depth, the starting pitching's been really healthy. Kopech, shout out to him, he's been unhittable, but is it because he's faced Cleveland and Kansas City, or has he actually been unhittable? I don't know. But I don't know, just keep bum slaying and get to 500 and try to go on a little run. But like it's not the same feeling like it was in 2021 when they won the division and you're like, all right, now it's go time.
You felt like you're on the precipice.
Yeah.
Right. Now it's like, all right, they won the division, but this isn't a good enough team that's gonna
You're going to walk in and get punched in the face.
Yeah, right. And when I say house money, you have a $10 voucher that like, hey, who knows what could happen with it, right? It's not a it's not a large sum of money. It's not that hopeful. But we'll see. I mean, 10-game stretch here coming up. 7 against the Tigers.
Yep. 3 at home against the Angels.
Exactly. You catch them.
And they're probably going to miss Shohei on the mound, that is.
Oh, really?
Which is big. Yeah. So if they go 8-2, that would put them at 29-32.
Yeah, and then you go into the Yankees series. Could you imagine? Like, that's all right. Let's play out that scenario. 29-32, you go into the Yankees. Your fucking arch enemy. You do something. You either win that series and you sweep it. I think you're back.
I think you'd be fully
you're
back.
The Yankees are playing good baseball right now. They're obviously been hurt. They got Severino made his first start. Rodon, who knows about him? He has been he hasn't done anything yet. He's throwing from like 50 feet right now.
He's got that Pavano.
So he maybe. I hope not for his sake.
Not, yeah, good dude. Not.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like I know all the warts of this organization, and I don't know if there's anything that can happen. Sans like a miracle where they get insanely hot during the postseason push, if they do make the postseason, where I can be like, I am once again confident in the direction of this organization. Because in spite of only being 5.5 out and playing better right now, like that doesn't cloud my judgment for what is really going on right now.
Yeah.
And it's not fool's gold like it had been over the last handful of years with the fan base. We're like, all right, now it's go time. We're going to do this. We're going to be consistent threats.
Who these guys are now.
Right.
Yeah.
And like none of the, I should say the vast majority of the fan base isn't fooled by the better baseball that's going on right now.
Yeah.
Because of the
you
competition.
You shouldn't
right.
be.
But that doesn't mean we're not, like I counseled them. And the council wasn't necessarily for the season. It was more an organizational council. So it's not that I like worried about being wrong on that. I hope I do have egg on my face come October, and they do make the playoffs. But like, it's just like it's not
like
good
even
enough.
If you get there, like who cares, kind of.
Right, because I know that it's it's not because they're a good baseball team. It's because they're a product of a bad division that. Geographical location that they're in, and that that it will never not bother me. It will never not bother me.
I don't think anybody blames you. Like that's
so that's where I'm at with the White Sox.
Makes sense. I get it.
I will say though, I am not having fun watching them again.
There you go.
Yeah, that's good.
Something.
Like it got to a point where they were playing so poorly where. If I had anything else going on, like I would come home from the dog park in the 3rd inning instead of like making it a beeline to get home for first pitch.
And April 28th, I'm just pulled up here, Kunzel decision. Man, an April Kunzel is tough, but it was definitely warranted.
It was so funny.
It was fucking really bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
I wonder what their record would be right now if they had lost that 11th game in a row to Tampa where they scored 7 runs in the 9th, because that might have been this like
fight with the A's.
The Vaughn walk-off. Oh, it's just great to win.
Yeah,
that was tough.
I'll give a couple final thoughts. Vaughn, on that note, he has to be better. He has not been good. Robert, he stopped thinking. He had this. I think we talked about this a little last week. He was getting so much information. He was just thinking too much at the plate. He said, and there are guys like that where it's just like, hey, give him the velocity, give him the pitch combination that the pitcher has, and let him like that little meme, like, yo, hold up, he's about to go to work with Woody.
Let him cook.
Yeah, or let him cook. Yeah. From Toy Story, he's been very good. Burger's been awesome, obviously. Okada needs to hit the ball with authority. He still hits like a little bitch, I think. And then aside from that, the pitching has been largely very good.
Yeah.
So we will see.
And on the opposite, obviously the Cubs have struggled the last couple of weeks, but they're going for the sweep tonight against the Mets. Kyle Hendricks is making his debut. They're facing Carrasco, who's been a fucking dumpster fire this year.
And like the kids are unbelievable.
Yeah, but I think it's going to show kind of who they are. You know, like they need to go out and get this sweep against Carrasco, whose ERA is in the 8s, and then they take on Cincinnati this weekend. You need to
slingshot here.
You need to try to salvage something here.
Yeah, and I think credit to them. You know, they could have just kept Hosmer and left Mervis down, but they DFA him, so they're like making moves that are good for like the long and short term of the organization. Like they're actively like kind of trying to win, which you like to see, and
we said that last week. Like, what are they going to do? Are they going to sit there and are they going to, you know, play to these veterans where it's like, we'll see how it goes. But they pulled the plug and they're like, we're going to go with their young guys.
I think Mervis has he's got maybe almost 60 at bats now. Like he had a bomb
the other night.
He had a bomb the other night. They let him struggle. They let him kind of work it out. Like he's looking like a competent. He looks pretty good at first base, and he looks pretty competent at the plate. So like they're.
And Morales is the fucking
he is one of those guys.
Where did he come from, Dave?
Would kill to have on the White Sox.
Yeah,
because he's just electrifying. He's Robert's electrifying too, but he doesn't. Robert's kind of like a head down, go to work guy at the same time. Like his
gifts
output,
make him.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking like and I know Sox fans are gonna hate this, but like a Javi Baez like lightning bottle because I feel like he has an energy is infectious, and obviously stats don't measure that kind of shit. And there's a bunch of Sox fans that are complete and total stat heads that will say, oh, like just give me the good player, which is true, but like energy is necessary. And Christopher Morel, every time I look up, he's doing something fucking cool. Yeah, just like not.
Yeah.
It's just cool looking.
It's cool on the bases, cool in the outfield.
Listen to some of these stats cool. From our
and he's got like not even 60 plate appearances.
Yeah.
He's hitting a home run every six
day.
plate. Yeah.
From our stat guy nights, home run in his 5th straight game Tuesday night, tying the Cubs record. Morel's 9 home runs are now tied for the second most home runs in a player's first 12 games of a season, with 2001 Luis Gonzalez and 97 Larry Walker. In 1976,
Larry
Mike
Walker's
Schmidt
a Hall of
hit
Famer
11 in 12 games.
Did he just get elected? I think he did.
I think he did. Yeah. Just
Seiya's
a fucking
looking good.
Just a tank god. Yeah. It really. So
Wisdom's been awesome all year for the most part. He strikes out a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can live with that if you're hitting fucking bombs like he is.
Dude, but I think everybody said, like, if
been
Mervis
good.
looks good, like your core guys and your young guys look good, like Wisdom was always going to come back to earth. Like I don't think he's like the long-term solution at third. So I think everyone was like, being 500 would be great, and it feels like that is definitely within striking distance. I think they're 4 games under, and get Hendricks back. Maybe he's got a little something left in the tank, and
but you like to see them grab this one tonight
for sure,
and then you want to see them.
Who's on? Carrasco is for
Carrasco and Hendricks. Yeah, and you want to see them at least take 2 out of 3 from the Reds. It'd be great for us.
You probably that's a team that you got to get.
It'd be great. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
I will say though, as good as the Cubs have played and as bad as the White Sox have played, only 2.5 behind the Cubs right now.
Feels way different though.
Way more. Yeah. Because of the expectations.
Yeah. And you're right.
That's NL Central is not good at all either, but it's not near as bad as the Sox or the AL Central Sox division. But I don't know. We'll see. You think they're going to be selling? Who would be the guys to go? Bellinger.
Yeah, Bellinger's a for sure.
And then maybe a couple relievers or something.
Interesting where they're at.
Feels like
contract
they don't have
wise
a ton to
with
move.
Stroman.
Yeah, that's true.
It's an interesting thought to
Yeah.
see where I don't know how far they are on numbers. Who knows what their long term outlook is? I mean, he's been good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting one, and teams could use a starter like Marcus Stroman.
totally. And he does. He
Down the
feels
stretch.
like a guy who, for a guy who is as good as he is, it feels like he's been on a lot of teams. You know, like how many teams does he play for now?
Mets,
Blue
Blue
Jays,
Jays.
Cubs. Was there anybody else?
Is that it? I think that might be it. But it was just a lot of movement recently.
Yeah, I guess just those three. But it feels like he should have. And he's been in the league 10 years, so I'm off on that.
Did
I
they
thought there was
DFA
a fourth.
Boxberger?
What do you say?
Boxberger? I don't.
Oh, shout out to Nick Birdie for getting the call again. Played against him and his brother in high school. Birdie family, real cool people, big Sox fans. Nick has blown up his arm a handful of times. So to see him, work through all that and show face again in the Cubs bullpens, it's cool.
That's nice.
So,
yeah. Switching gears here, little Bears news. Kind of got talked about the David Montgomery quote, where he said, "Losing games in Chicago sucked the fun out of football for him. I like to compete. That's what football's about. It's so refreshing to be at a place where I'm appreciated." I don't really have a whole lot of problems with that quote.
no.
I have zero.
Yeah, the only one where it's like I'm appreciated by the fans. He definitely was appreciated.
Yeah.
I think that is.
I disagree with that, but maybe that's
contract.
by the coaching staff.
That's what
that's
it
what I'm
is.
saying.
Yeah.
And I get it from both sides.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'd like to clarify is the fans.
I
Nobody
Everybody
disliked
love
Monty.
Fucking
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
loves Monty.
Yeah. No, it was like one of those things where you're sad to see him go, but you wouldn't have wanted. What did he get? 18 million.
So it was 6 a pop, which
Yeah.
people were surprised that Pace didn't pull the trigger on. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be fine. With what was the guy's name they drafted from Texas, and then Herbert, and then I mean the Bears running back room is more than fine.
Yeah,
like
Donta
they had other
Foreman.
needs.
Yep.
Obviously, Monty knows that more than anybody.
Yeah.
It was one of those things, But I don't. Of course, losing sucks. If I were him, I would have been miserable too.
Yeah.
Knowing that he was one of the only productive players on the entire 56-man roster.
If he was miserable, he hit it well. He was a good soldier
Yeah,
here,
fuck yeah.
and leader, locker room guy, all that kind of stuff. So
never
yeah.
bitched or moaned. He was asked a question, and he answered it.
Yeah.
And his answer was good.
That's so important too. Like there's such a difference between someone just unprompted tweets or unprompted video versus being asked about something.
Yeah.
If you're asked about something and you answer like then
Right.
that's what you're
Yeah.
gonna get.
Yep.
So I have no problem with it. Lance, I don't know how much you saw. Were a lot of people getting worked up over this? I know you're kind of in the loop on that.
No, not really. I feel like everyone's opinion was the same. Like Monty did so much for us. It just sucked that we didn't do anything for him. I think the only reason why it was a little bit of salty is because he's playing for the Lions. You know what I mean? So I think that's why people were kind of all right, well, now it's a little bit of smoke. Like we kind of want to rub it in your face now. Now we kind of got extra smoke to play the Lions, and we didn't really want smoke with David Montgomery. But I feel the same way. I'm not mad, but all right, when we play, if you get 0 yards, I'll laugh at you, It sucks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, the Bears suck the fun out of it for everybody.
Yeah.
It's like he's not alone. Everybody at this table too. So
I mean, I hate to say this too, a place where I'm appreciated. The Lions just took a running back at 12. So
fact.
That's true.
that's not great.
You know what,
I thought
Ed? Excellent point.
We're gonna say, Tom.
No, I thought. Yeah, you said. He said where I'm appreciated. That's not what he said.
Oh wow, what
He
was
said
it?
I like to compete. That's what football's about. It's so refreshing to be in a place where that's appreciated.
Or that's
I feel
appreciated.
like that's a little different because I was going to say I feel like you guys did appreciate him, but
Yeah.
so
for
we
sure.
had
he's
we
talking more
misquoted.
about
Good thing we had Tom here.
Even if he is
Thank you, Tom.
taking a dig at organization or even to a much lesser extent the fans, I don't mind trash talk. He's on the enemy's team now.
Yeah, man, and you're not in that building. Like everyone's experience is different. If you really did feel underappreciated, and there was some things that we don't know about, that's fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, I took Jahmyr Gibbs out of Alabama, number 12 overall. So.
Yeah, first running back off. No, second running back off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bijan.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. That's the only other note. Congratulations to Justin Fields and Cole Kmet for graduating as well.
That was nice.
That was nice.
Yeah, I am getting a little. It's like they're doing the OTAs now. Just seeing Fields throwing to DJ Moore gave me like a little tingle.
Now
it's like I'm ready because it kind of feels like football weather outside. So seeing them throw the ball around and be like, oh, it's actually real.
Yeah.
So it gets me a little hyped up.
Two things on that. Did you guys like his quote? Because they asked him about his contract because this is his last year.
Which guy? Which quote?
Justin Fields they asked him like, "Hey, this is your last year. Like, where are you contracting to go?" He's like, "I'm not worried about money right now. I just want wins."
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that is just media speak, and then but like Justin Fields this is going to be his third year now. What I feel like him being at OTAs is like that's pretty awesome.
And he's fully
obviously like
he's fully
Aaron Rodgers
now.
was with
he was fully college
he was throwing in New York and everything, but like Justin Fields doesn't need to be there right now.
I think
I think a lot more guys are going now.
Yeah, you got to do OTAs.
Yeah.
That's it. That's like you, especially like year 2 new guys. Like you better be it. I would be like if he wasn't at OTAs, I'd be like I don't know.
I feel like it's. No, I don't think it's never been like that.
100%. If Justin Fields was not at OTAs this summer, where they're breaking in all the new guys, year 2 in the system,
throwing for sure. But I feel like that's always been kind of actually. It's like, hey, you don't have to be here, but we like you here, but we won't hold it against you if you're not here. For vets, obviously it's different for Fields because he hasn't. He's in year.
Yeah, but he only played 2 years. I wouldn't consider that a vet.
Yeah, and I definitely don't think
veteran.
it's. I had to just double check this to make sure the O wasn't for optional. Okay, it's just organized. Yeah, it's organized.
It's organized, but it's like loosely.
Yeah,
organized.
I don't know. I disagree with you on that. I think if the news came out that Justin Fields skipped OTA for whatever reason, it would be a problem.
I think that
Justin Fields 3-year vet.
Yeah,
but he's not. He's a 2-year vet.
Yeah, yes.
Well, he'll be in his third year.
Correct.
I know, but arriving,
is
he a vet right now?
Yeah.
No.
It's the new league year.
Hold the L.
I mean, I've seen. I've got like the challenge in my brain, which is a totally different thing.
I mean, is Kirk Cousins at OTAs right now? Is
probably
what's his face in
Kirk
Minnesota?
has been in the league for 10 years.
I know. I understand.
Yeah.
Obviously, Fields isn't nearly as established as those guys, but
regardless, go back to the quote. I mean, those go hand in hand. Everyone knows he is not a make or break, but
it's pretty much make or break.
Pretty pivotal year 3. So you have a monster year that's going to go into your contract. So
yeah, one follows the other.
It's not. Yeah. It's not rocket science to me.
I'm expecting. Give me a slash line, Ed. 3,500
Fields
30-10.
He's winning the MVP.
I saw that graphic. Do you have that graphic, Lance? With 30 touchdown throwers in franchise history.
It's 0, right?
Yeah, we have 0.
Yeah.
Bears are the
Cutler got
only one.
He had like 28 and 26 picks or something.
Yeah, something like that.
That 1 year.
The only ones.
It's not great.
Yeah.
But records are meant to be broken, so we'll snap that this year.
They are, so. Did you find it?
It's touchdowns.
Oh, I was
touchdowns.
I was gonna pull up like all of the stats.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. I think we could.
Yeah,
we could. Whatever. All right, then we could wrap it up here. But before we do wrap it up, challenge tomorrow. I wasn't there. What can you tell me about it? What should I expect? What was it?
We did a sailing, and I wonder if you can get. Can we? We're not doing game time.
We're saving it.
Okay. All right. He scared me. All right. Sorry.
I'm on.
Yeah. We're doing the.
He might be hungover.
What? You didn't?
Yeah. Saving it for what? You skipped it.
I got it.
Okay. All right. Just making sure. So it was sailing. So we have the Sail GP event. I went to it last year. It was a lot of fun. And they reached out after Danny had posted like this near crash. I'm like, this was electric. I got to be there next year. They're like, why don't you come today? And then so we've been in contact, and then we got hooked up with sailing school up in Wilmette, Sheridan Sailing School, and they took care of us. So Dave and I had a race. to see.
Oh.
So we like did down and back around a buoy, made it, tacks, and what was the other thing called? Tack and what?
Jib.
Something like that, maybe a tack and a jib, and it was a lot of fun. It's a nice day out on the water, and then we learned a little bit about sailing, and then we did a race. So it was.
How far do you think it was?
I
Like
can't
quarter
judge.
mile?
I don't know how to judge stuff like that. I do like everything in like football yardage. I'd say it was probably like 2 football fields.
Was there a teaser clip from it?
Yeah,
I think it was
we
more
just
than
have-
that. I think it was like 4.
We have a short clip of just
Play
one
the
moment.
clip.
Oh, wait, sorry, one second.
Is this Chief? Okay.
Those are some white short shorts too.
Eddie, look at this.
Maybe we should just do best 2 out of 3. I'm like, nope.
I wish it would have smacked you right in the face.
Talk about an athlete. You're tripping on sticks.
Wow. How would that?
Look at Tom's face too.
How heavy was that thing, dude?
I think I would have a welt.
this-
Oh, that would have knocked you off
This
the boat.
first angle, I feel like doesn't do it justice. The GoPro angle is more accurate. Like from that was going to like knock his head off.
Yeah,
And it was
you need to
the
see the
speed.
non-choppy.
It's a
Yeah,
solid,
sorry, this is
pretty
coming in choppy. I
dense
don't know why this
piece of metal.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What did she say?
She goes, "Oh,
She
you
warned
weren't
us
ready
about
for that?" No, she didn't warn me that we were doing it in that moment.
She gaslit him.
You're supposed to know when that is coming though.
Bro.
We didn't. She did, and she even said like, "Oh, you weren't ready for that?" And I was like,
She wasn't looking.
She wasn't ready at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. She just
But-
was on a shorter step.
Yeah,
That would have knocked your teeth out.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, you would have been.
that would have been a problem.
You'd have been
would've been
seeing
good content.
stars.
But same thing.
I'm happy that
Athlete. Yeah.
Dave, if that was Dave, you wouldn't have even had a duck.
If it would have hit me,
I
it
think
wouldn't
that's
have
why
mattered
she didn't
'cause
give
my
him a heads up.
skull's too thick.
Did you
Yeah,
say
pray for
heads
the
up,
pull.
Tom?
No, I'm saying I think that's why she didn't give Chief a heads up because Dave went first, and I think she was doing that without giving him a heads up because he didn't have to duck.
Oh, yeah.
And then like when it happened with Chief, she was like, "Oh, you weren't ready for that."
Yeah.
Dave's got that titanium cranium.
You dent the jib boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just stop it. in its
Boat
tracks.
sinks.
I actually forgot about that. That was a pretty close call.
Damn. Well, look out for that. That's going to air on the Barstool Chicago YouTube tomorrow. And happy Memorial Day, everybody. Have a nice weekend.
Summer's here.
Enjoy yourself. Thank you for tuning in to us. We'll be back on Tuesday. So, see you then.